Hi everybody, Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. So today's kind of a fun play-along video. We're going to be going over the Irish Washerwoman, right? It's a well-known Irish tune, and I'm going to give you a couple, I don't know, points of advice on how you could play it as well as you want to play it. There we go. Okay, so for the time signature, it's in 6/8. So that means that we're going to have basically the equivalent of 3/8 notes per beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da da dee da 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 dee da da dee da da da. Right? And so keep in mind, if you are using your metronome, which I highly recommend, you do not start on the beat, right? So remember, you have the downbeat and upbeat, downbeat and upbeat, right? So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So you're going to be starting on the upbeat. Dee da dee da 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 da. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da da dee da da dee. Right? So that's the first thing you want to notice. Okay, so we are also in the key of D major. So we have two sharps, right? F sharp, C sharp. And what does that mean for our second finger? Well, it basically means that we are going to have a high second finger on the G string, the D string, and the A string, right? But we have a low second finger on the E. So here's our B natural, our F sharp, and our C sharp, right? And then G natural on our A. So I mentioned second finger, of course, because when we have a key signature change on the violin, when we add sharps or flats or whatever, it usually affects the second finger first. So you should know about the second finger. You don't have to worry about any other string finger. Your first finger is going to be the same on all your strings. Okay, so key signature, pretty simple. Okay, so let's talk about a couple points of advice on how to play this. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things that might help you practice this and then play it without any errors, and probably more importantly, play it fast, okay? So, you know, a lot of times Irish tunes, you know, there's people dancing and people are partying and the beers are flowing, right? But a lot of times the tempos tend to increase, right, until they get a little bit ridiculous, right? So you might start off, you know, pretty slow. And you might end up, you know, double time. Right? So how can we do that? Okay, so a couple different things. One, I would highly advise you to play this in the lower part of the bow. And the more flexible your hand is, the better. So the less you're moving your whole arm around and you're isolating a lot of movements to, you know, your wrist and hand. So if I was doing it poorly, it would look like this. Right? So we want to use a little bit of bow and make sure our hand is as flexible as possible, but also open up this joint right here, right? Don't lock that elbow, right? If you lock it, then your arm, you have to move your whole arm with your bow stroke. We don't want to lock it. We want to release that elbow so our forearm can work separately from our bicep, right? So just remember, as a general rule, when you want to play fast, you want to shrink. The faster you want to play, you get smaller. Your motions become smaller, right? Think about, you know, how fast a squirrel is compared to an elephant, right? You know, its movements are, you know, it's small, right? So minimize your motions, okay, and play this in the lower part of the bow. So, right, if you play it in the middle, It's a lot harder. Here, it's like nearly impossible. So, lower part of the bow. Okay, so, and then let's see, a couple other little things I'll mention. Okay, so if you really want to play this as fast as you can, right? Remember, like I was kind of alluding to in the last point was, you know, being relaxed, right? Minimizing your motions, being really relaxed, but also practicing with the metronome, okay? So, for example, let's say we want to start off at 90. So we put our metronome on 90. This is the quarter note, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? And then make sure that each section you can play it at 90 very comfortably without a bunch of mistakes. Then, okay, speed it up. Maybe speed it up to 95, right? Or maybe speed it up to 100. Now, it might take you a day or two to make it up to 95 or 100 or whatever. That's fine, right? What kind of race are you in, right? If it takes you a week, you know, I mean, let's say every day you're able to speed it up 10 points. Okay, in a week, right, that's 70. That's a lot, right? If you went from like 90, you know, and you add a 70, right, now you're at a ridiculous speed. So it's okay if in a practice session you just move it up five notches or 10 notches. Okay, so here's 100. Right? Next day, you know, maybe try 110. Now, if you can't, and you're making too many errors, then back it off to 105 or just go back to 100. No big deal. Okay, so then you want to basically, just keep on how fast you play it. It's all up to you. How much time do you want to spend really focused and with the metronome? And you'll be able to get it very fast, right? Just insist that you don't go to the next higher speed unless the previous speed was very, very consistent, right? You could play it 5-10 times without any major errors, right? Then you can speed it up. Okay, so another thing I want to point out is the second section that starts, okay, the third line, right? So the third line, we have, it's almost like a second theme, I guess you could say. Then that can be a little bit of a finger twister, and that might tie you up. So what you got to do, actually, besides practicing it slow, is keep your fingers down. So starting at measure 15, here's this 3. Keep your finger down for both strings. Don't pick up your third finger. So when you put that third finger down, make sure your 2 comes with it. Then when it comes time for you to play that second finger, it's already down. Now pick up your 3. Then, right? So you might have to practice this, you know, twice as much as you do all the others, but as long as you are focused and conscientious about keeping certain fingers down, then you'll get it. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, so I mean, that's really about it for this piece. I don't think there's really anything that I need to mention. Just remember, you're going to be able to play this faster if you use a metronome and gradually pick up your speed. You stay in the lower part of the bow. You are relaxed as much as possible. And then if there's certain spots where you need to tell yourself to keep fingers down or whatever it is, just make sure you do that every time you practice and you're consistent, and you'll be able to play this as fast as you want. So I hope this helped, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this piece because it's pretty cool. And you know, don't forget to like and subscribe as usual. But more importantly, perhaps, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below because I do answer all the questions that I get. So with that, hope you guys have a good time with this piece, and happy practicing.